Greetings and welcome to Nathan Nile Official. If you've never seen my face in a video before, my name is Nathan Nile and this is my personal channel where I do vlogs, reviews, and anything else that happens to catch my fancy. And today I just felt the strong urge to talk about equally one of my all-time favorite and also one of the most disappointing franchises in the history of cinema.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Now, for the too long didn't read version, my opinion on this is that this franchise very much is Star Wars but dinosaurs, because the first trilogy that came out, I absolutely love it, and the second trilogy that came out, kinda wish it had never been made.
You were the chosen one!
I will have to say I disagree only slightly, because, at least with Star Wars, they weren't well made movies, but there were still good things about the story. Whereas with the Jurassic World franchise, it's like, bro, Jurassic Park was a cinematic masterpiece and just such breathtaking visuals and amazing storytelling, and the entire franchise as a whole just continues to get worse with each retelling, though I slightly disagree, because I think 3 was better than 2. Well, that's just my opinion.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Now, Jurassic Park, the original, was just a masterpiece of storytelling, beautiful, breathtaking cinema, and I think it's very much emblematic of what's everything wrong with Hollywood, because the original Jurassic Park, they just set out to make a good movie, tell a good story, but then they made too much fucking money. And now Hollywood's like, we need another one. We need another one.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
I want to say for the record, Jurassic Park 2, the Lost World Jurassic Park, I should say, it's not 2. But anyways, the Lost World is not a bad movie. But I don't like it as much as 3, because 1 and 3 both have a similar vibe where it's like, okay, lost in a jungle, it's almost like man has traveled back in time to the Jurassic world, even though there's a lot of animals from the Cretaceous and whatnot, but we don't have to get into that specifically. The point is, the Lost World is entertaining as long as you don't think about it. You have to turn your brain off for this movie, because the second you start thinking about it, you realize there are so many things in this movie that make absolutely no sense, and it loses all value, at least to me personally. Now, me saying Jurassic Park 3 is my second favorite movie in the franchise is going to be highly controversial, because a lot of people will argue that, hey, Jurassic Park 3 was a flop, it tanked the franchise, and there are a lot of things that people hate about this movie. But to be completely honest, most of the complaints that people have about this movie, while valid, those complaints exist in basically every movie throughout the franchise. It only bothers you in this movie because you already decided that you hate this movie, and once you've decided that you hate something, it's really easy to nitpick every individual little thing that you hate about it.
The way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress.
When you already hate Brenda, your coworker, who's annoying and lazy and a dumb bitch, and then, now from that point on, okay, you already hate her, so everything she does is gonna annoy the living fuck out of you. It's like, look at that bitch over there just breathing. Just over here just sucking up all the oxygen. You don't own the oxygen, Brenda!
I don't like his voice. I don't like he talks about, I don't see, I be trying to tell his face. I don't like the way he walks, like nothing. I don't like his haircut.
I just want to be clear. There are a lot of people who hate Jurassic Park 3 specifically because of the Spinosaurus. I love Jurassic Park 3 specifically because of the Spinosaurus. I'm sure if you looked, you can probably find a video explaining why the T-Rex is considered the king of the lizards. But if I'm remembering correctly, I think one of the main reasons is just because it happens to be one of the first major carnivores discovered. I might be wrong. Don't fact check me.
The rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check.
I know it doesn't help that for a century, Hollywood has been pushing the T-Rex as the king of all kings. Pretty much the vast majority of movies that have any dinosaur in it, the T-Rex is known as the big bad. But let's be completely clear. There are a lot of dinosaurs out there that could kick a T-Rex's ass. The Spinosaurus, the Ceratosaurus, T-Rex is a little bitch with the little tiny bitch-ass arms, and if a T-Rex was standing in front of me, I slap him in the face and be like, "What you gonna do with your little bitch-ass arms? I'm over here fucking with 20s. What you bench, Rexy, huh? What you benching, huh?" Big-headed, tiny-armed J.D. McDonough-looking ass. I want to be here all day, so let's move on to the next one. We'll talk about Jurassic World, which, even though it was a disappointing movie, and there are a lot of things wrong with it, it was still at least entertaining, even though it's a really shitty story, and there are a lot of specific moments that definitely aggravate me. But even though Jurassic World was a disappointing mess, I still found it entertaining. I still consider it a watchable movie. There's just a lot of things I wish had been done better. Now, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is just straight up trash. This movie is a masterclass of how not to write a good script. For one thing, there's way too much nostalgia baiting. It literally feels like they went through all the original movies and were like, "Oh, people always cheered when this moment came out, so let's recreate this moment and build this entire movie around those moments, and then they're guaranteed to love it." There are a lot of things I hate about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I could literally sit here the entire day listing point by point every single thing wrong with this movie, but I don't want this video to take forever, so I'm just going to start with the two most important things, which is, first of all, other than the nostalgia baiting that I already mentioned, what the hell is with this co-clone storyline? The kid, like, what does that actually do for this story? I don't feel like it adds anything to it. Why was that necessary? I mean, clones have invented in media for generations, and honestly, like, we can bring a dinosaur back from the dead with DNA that existed millions of years ago. Why would it be shocking that we can clone a living human being? I mean, the only thing that it could do would be like the ethical concerns of it, which has been studied just heavily, once again, throughout media for centuries. I just feel like there's no reason for that storyline to exist. It even has nothing to do with the character. It's just like, what does this do? Is there any real point to it? Also, the final scene. First of all, why can't you just open the front door and let the gas vent out naturally? That makes no sense at all. But even disregarding that, they show the control panel. And the first thing I noticed is that there's a button that says open all cages. So why the fuck is she going one by one, opening each individual thing? There's literally a button there that says open all cages. I mean, this is just the worst way to build dramatic tension ever, especially since, let's be honest, we all knew what was going to happen next. I said two things, but the third thing is the fucking trailer put the best part of the movie, which is literally the last 2 minutes of the movie, and so it made me think it was going to be something other than what it was, and so I walked out so incredibly disappointed. It's just... this movie was not worth sitting through, which is why to this day I have not seen Jurassic World Dominion, and I have no plans to watch Jurassic World Dominion, and there's supposedly going to be a 7th installment to the franchise, which I have absolutely zero interest in at all, because I just do not think it is possible for anyone in the modern Hollywood system to actually make a good Jurassic movie. I don't feel right talking shit about Dominion because I haven't seen it, but based on what everyone else has told me, it almost seems like the movie, which originally seemed like it was meant to be the finale to a franchise about dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs have nothing to do with the story. They're kind of just there. They exist. The real story is some bullshit side quest about a genetically engineered plague of locusts. What the fuck? Also, the fact that it took them 4 years and 20 tries. No, wrong. Strike that. Reverse it.
Strike that. Reverse it.
It took them 20 years and 4 tries to get to Dominion, even though from the very beginning there have been little Easter eggs hinting at the possibility of dinosaurs existing in the real world. Like the very first movie, I'm not sure how you could justify it. I'm sure it wouldn't be actual science, it would be movie science, but I was watching the original Jurassic Park recently. Nedry gets attacked, and he has a whole can of dinosaur embryos that kind of just falls into a river. I'm just saying, there was that one alien movie, I can't remember, was it Prometheus or something, where the guy, he drinks this thing and his DNA goes into the river and that supposedly started life. So I'm just saying, like it wouldn't be real science, but movie science, you could be justified using that. Not to mention these velociraptors, they're bred in a new era and they just immediately figure out how to open doors. You're telling me 20 years later, these motherfuckers haven't figured out how to use an AK to steal a boat and drive it to the mainland? There's a whole boat of raptor pirates out there. Fucking trust me on that. Not to mention, in The Lost World, that brief scene where they talk about Los Cinco Muertos, the 5 deaths, makes me think, oh, there are 5 islands with dinosaurs on them? Fuck yeah, there is so much that can be explored from that one throwaway line. Also, they engineered dinosaurs that can fly and swim. No fucking way they're keeping all of this shit contained indefinitely. In fact, that's maybe the most disappointing thing about Jurassic World, because I saw the title and part of me was really hoping that maybe that's what they were going with it. That, oh, dinosaurs have escaped containment and they're starting to take over. Humanity might not be the #1 species on Earth anymore. But no, they just renamed it so that they could retell the exact same story again. This video was actually inspired because I saw someone post on Reddit about how the Jurassic Park franchise was made more like horror films. And now watching, I never really thought about it, but when you actually pay attention and you notice, oh my god, yeah, Jurassic Park is definitely, it's more like a slasher flick, whereas the Jurassic World movies are more like just big budget Hollywood action flicks. It's Halloween versus Die Hard. You know, Die Hard, it's a good franchise. It's not inherently bad. Actually, I should have said, you know what? Let's change it. It's Halloween versus, the Fast and Furious franchise. Because with the original Jurassic Park movies, it was about telling a good story. There was anticipation. And even though, yes, it's silly to think about it logically, this big, massive creature that can literally shake the entire ground with the steps that it takes is somehow able to just sneak up on you like, hey, surprise! But when watching that as a child, it was genuinely scary. Especially like the raptor scenes, this motherfucker just poking his head in the door like, I see you. And then it just starts opening the thing like, oh my god. Like, I'm sitting safe in my home watching this movie, horrified that some velociraptor just gonna pop up out of the couch. But anyways, that's just my opinion. You're welcome to disagree. Feel free to tell me in the comments down below all the reasons you think I'm wrong, so that I can proceed to block your ass. I'm just kidding. We welcome engagement on this channel. You can say whatever the fuck you want. I don't have to believe you. In fact, if you say anything different from what I say, I'm just letting you know, for the record, you're not going to change my mind. But you still have the right to say it, so feel free to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next time you see my face in the video, my name is Nathan Lyle. I hope you have a great day, week, month, year, however long it is till I come back.
You did it. You crazy son of a bitch, you did it.